Hi guys, so I'm pretty sure for the first time ever in the series, I'll be reading a book. So let me get the book out of here. Okay guys, so here we are with the Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not So Happy Heartbreaker. This is a Rachel Renee Russell book. It's the 6th book in the series. This diary belongs to Nikki J. Maxwell. Private and confident. If found, please return to me for a reward. No stooping allowed. OMG. Oh wait. Saturday, February 1st. I'm suffering from the worst case of crushes ever. This morning I had these butterflies in my stomach. They were making me feel super nauseous, but in a really good way. I felt so insanely happy I could just vomit sunshine, rainbow, confetti, glitter, and those yummy little skill thingies. I still can't believe my crush Brandon actually texted me last night after I left his birthday party. And you'll never guess what happened. He asked me out to Crazy Burger. Squee! And yes, I know, it's not like a real date or anything, but still. I was so elected, I blasted my fave music and danced around my bedroom like a maniac. Hey, I was beyond fierce. I was an air guitar playing dancing machine. After dancing in my room for an entire hour, I was so tired I could barely breathe. That's when I collapsed into a weasel, then sweat-soaked mass of body, a door, in sheer exhaustion. Gas cock Hank. A very happy weaseling, sweat-soaked mass of body and door in sheer sorry about this, guys. For some reason, I can't do it. I mean, I'm really good at reading, I just can't do that one. Okay. Jackson. I don't know I messed up like this. I'm sorry guys, please don't dislike this video because I messed up. Anyways, we do have someone join us today. Yay! She's actually really quiet. I wonder why. Me with a big fat dorky smile blaster across my face. And here's the picture. Oh yeah, and that's so her dancing. Anyways, back to this. Why? Because any minute now, Brandon was going to contact me so we could make plans to hang out at Crazy Burger. Squee! So I snuggled into my comfy chair, stared at my cell phone, and waited patiently for his call. I waited and waited 2 hours later, and waited 4 hours later, and waited 6 hours later. Before I knew it, it was bedtime. I felt like I had been waiting forever. Cobweb thingies. Sigh. Yeah, and here's a picture of her. There's the pictures. Her really happy, her wondering why he hasn't texted me yet, her getting pretty mad, her really mad. And then here's her on her bed with cobweb thingies and just still staring at me. Me flopped across my bed sofa. But no call, no email, not even text message. I checked my cell phone to make sure the battery thingy hadn't run not or something. Fortunately, my last call was from my BFS, Chloe and Zoe. They had called me late last night with some really juicy gossip. Apparently, someone had showed up at Brian's party unexpectedly to drop off a present for him shortly after I had left. You'll never guess who it was. Mackenzie. Okay, I admit it was really nice and sweet of her to do that, but she had totally overlooked one important little detail. She wasn't invited, which means Miss Stanky had basically crashed Braden's party. Like, who does that? My BFFs told me that Mackenzie was trolling her hair, giggling and flirting with Brian like crazy. Then she got super serious and asked him to talk to him privately about something really important. Just great. Now I'm really starting to worry, panic. What if Mackenzie told him some awful lies about me so he wouldn't want to be friends anymore? She's always talking me behind my back, saying stuff like, Nikki's a hopeless introvert. Fashion challenged diary except dork, which is still not true. Well, maybe it's a little true. Okay, actually, it's a lot true, but still. Why did all of this have to happen just when Brian and I were gonna have our first date? Sorry, lost my page. First date that wasn't really a date. Please let Braden call me tomorrow. Sunday, February 2nd. I've been awake for 7 hours, 11 minutes, and 39 seconds, and Braden still hasn't called. I started to worry if something really bad had happened to him. I think he sincerely wanted to call me, and he sincerely tried to call me, but he just couldn't. Because maybe he got abducted by aliens. Hey, don't laugh. It could have actually happened. I can't believe this is happening. I dropped my phone and now I can't call Nikki. In spite of the fact that I was suffering from a severe case of crushes and having a really bad day, my parents made me babysit my little sister Brianna, just so they could go to a movie together. Like, how insensitive is that? Sometimes I think my mom and dad need to take a parenting class or something. Last time I tried to talk Braden on the phone with Brianna around, it was a total disaster. She actually told him about my hairy legs and crusty eye burgers. It was so humiliating. Lately, Brianna has been totally obsessed with those diva hair salon shows on TV. And get this, she actually calls herself Miss Bright Fashionista Hairstylist to the stars. I was shocked to see her sneaking into my parents' bathroom and selling shampoo and perfume and stuff. It was like I had personally witnessed a miracle. Brianna was finally trying to improve her nasty hygiene. Woohoo! But later I peeked inside Brianna's room. I discovered she was missing. In her place was a strange little woman. She was wearing a fake... Okay. Let me get back to my page. She was wearing fake diamond cat eyeglasses, a long scarf with 4 sizes too big, sun slippers, and a kitty paint apron filled with Mom's designer makeup collection. I didn't know who she was. I wanted to scream, "Who are you and what have you done with my little sister?" But my gut told me to run away fast and call the police. Then she smiled at me really big and said, "Bonjour, Miss Nikki. Welcome to Salon Brianna." I was halfway down the hall before Brianna caught up with me. She grabbed my arm and dragged me back toward her room. "Darling, what are you doing? Don't be sure," Brianna said in an awful fake French accent that sounded more like 6-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger. "You are playing with Mom's new makeup and perfume. Do you realize she's going to kill you when she gets home, right?" I scolded her. "Never mind that, darling. You are Miss Brady's next appointment. Oui, come in. Come," she said, pushing me into her desk salon chair. So you can see they crossed out desk and did salon chair. Kids Bop music was playing in the background, and she had drawn the most hideous hairstyle posters and hung them on her wall to help set the mood of a trendy upscale salon. These posters should have been a warning to me about Miss Brady's hairstyling abilities. I couldn't resist coming with catchy names for each one. The ugly, the uglier, the ugliest. Actually, I'd have to say either this one or this one is the prettiest, and I know that one's last. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with that. They get like opposite. Anyways, back to the book. "Don't worry, darling," Miss Brady said. "I'm going to make you beautiful for your little friend Brian." "Yes, for Brian," I brushed profusely. Hey, it was just a pretend makeover with Miss Brady fashionista hairstyle to the stars. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, as long as it's only pretend," I groaned. If I was lucky, this would keep Brianna occupied until Mom and Dad got back home. And it was way less dangerous than us making cookies and almost burning the house down again. Sorry, guys. "Yay, my first customer," Brianna. And then I crossed it out. "Miss Brady. Set you up? Okay, we're good to go." Cheered. So they crossed out Brianna and then Miss Brady. And then cheered. "Before I start, darling, would you like something to drink? Juicy juice, Hawaiian punch, chocolate milk?" "Chocolate milk would be nice," I answered. "Hands, go get our customer, Miss Nikki, a glass of Lee chocolate milk. Extra cold," she commanded, looking at the teddy bear in the chair next to mine. The bear, Hands, didn't move an inch. "Well," she glared at him, "don't just sit there. Go get the milk for her now, please." Then she turned to me and laughed uncomfortably. "Please excuse my assistant. Hands is new here. He speaks a little French, but very little English." I looked at the teddy bear, looked back at her, and raised the eyebrow. Okay," I replied. "I know just what to do with your hair, darling." Brianna sat as she dabbed a bath towel smock around my shoulders. "Now just relax and let Miss Brady work her magic." Yes, Hans, would you please grab a magazine and give it to... Oh, never mind. I'll do it myself. Brianna handed me a trendy fashion magazine to read, just like in a real salon. I was impressed until I realized she had swapped my new Teen Dang mag for my room. The little thief. But I had to admit, Miss Bravery's fashionista hairstyle to the stars seemed to know her stuff. Me reading my Miss Bravery does my hair, and there's the picture. That's when I came across this very intriguing article about, you guessed it, guys. How to know if a guy's just not into you. He grades the date and then rudely cancels at the very last minute. He simply texts you an apology instead of telling you in person. Suddenly, he always too busy to spend any time with you. When you try to talk about your relationship, he just walks away. He's spending way too much time with another girl. Okay, guys, so I've read this book before, and actually, I just now figured out that I won't tell you until the end of the book. It's gonna be hard. You can like skip ahead to the end of the video, like, if you really want to know. It's about Mackenzie and her doing something. Anyways, let's do it. That magazine article was just shocking. Only a guy who's a total loser would do those things. I felt really lucky I didn't have to deal with DDD, destructural dude drama, in my own life. I ripped out the magazine page, folded it, and stuck it into my pocket. Just for future reference. Just in case. Suddenly, I felt a tug on my hair, then a yank. Ow, I replied. Brian, what are you doing? Making you beautiful. Actually, it doesn't say beautiful, but I like to do beautiful. Darling, Z is no problem at all. No, don't worry, please. In spite of her assurance, I seemed a little uncertain in that jacked up accent of hers. Next, I felt a slight tug and then a snip. A chopped up braid landed in my lap. I gasped. Then, with a trembling hand, I picked up the braid and prayed that it belonged to someone else. Like maybe Hans, that lazy French-speaking teddy bear assistant. What is this? I yelled at Brianna as I started at it and harder. Nothing at all. I threw it away, yes. She snatched the braid from me and tossed it over her shoulder. There, all gone. Brianna, give me that mirror now, or this game is so over, I screeched, my eyeballs bulging. Brianna handed it to me and giggled nervously. I made your hair very beautiful, see? Brianna hands me the mirror, and there's a picture. Well, I took one look in that mirror, and OMG, I didn't have words to describe how bad my hair looked. Maybe, hidealicious, which is like 10 times worse than just plain old hideous. I couldn't believe this hot mess I saw in the mirror. I thought my eyes were going to rupture and bleed from being exposed to such awesomely winch ugliness. Ah! That was me screaming. And there's a picture. And the back was even worse. Just as I had suspected, a large hunk of hair was missing. And there's another picture of where her braid's supposed to be. There's also lots of bows in her hair. I'm guessing Brianna did that. I seriously considered crawling around the floor until I found my serving braid. Then I placed it on a bucket, placed it in a bucket of ice, and rushed to the nearest emergency room to see if the doctor could somehow surgically attach it. And here's a little picture. And then, doctors, please, you need to do emergency surgery to check my braid before my hair fossily dangies die. My poor hair, I saw Brian. I'm so mad right now. I could. Darling, please calm down. There's no tears on, but tipping is allowed. Miss Bree grinned. She held out her hand. Got any loose chain? She expected payment. I was beyond disgust. Sorry, but I had quite enough of Brianna in her 1. Pony baloney French accent. 2. Ugly haircuts. 3. Lazy, no good assistant hands. Hairstyle by Miss Bree is always beautiful. I take a picture of your beauty, Brianna said as she grabbed my cell phone off her dresser and set the camera mode. Smile and say cheese. No. And there's a picture of Brianna taking a picture of her beautiful hair. A blinding flash went off. I couldn't see a thing, which was lucky for Brianna because right then I was so mad at her. I wanted to give her a super cute, stylish haircut with a chainsaw. Nikki, is the button you press to send stuff? Brian asked. I want to send this picture to Chloe and Zoe so I can get more customers. That's when I went from furious to livid. Brian, are you nuts? You better not send that picture to anyone. Why not? I need more customers to get more money. How am I supposed to pay Miss Penelope to be my shampoo girl? Just give my phone back, I screamed and snatched it from her. Mommy says sharing is a good thing, Brianna shouted and grabbed it back. I can't tell if Brianna is talking about sharing videos, online, or sharing the phone. We yelled at each other and tussled over the phone for which seemed like forever. Let go of my cell phone now, you spoiled little brat. No, I need to use it. She can get really mean to her sister sometimes, but I know she loves her. She just gets annoyed. Although Brianna does get into a lot of trouble. Me and Brianna fighted over the cell phone. Oh, here's a picture. There. Then that is until we heard the phone go click and then beep. I had a total meltdown right there on the spot. OMG, Brian, you just sent that hideous picture to everyone in my contacts. Oops. And there's a picture. There's a saying that a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, mine's worth 1,000,000 laughs. I look like a physical homeless clown who had accidentally stuck her finger in an electric shock. There's a picture of the picture. Chloe and Zoe immediately sent me a LOL text in response. They were always sending me funny pictures, but I was super worried that after Braden saw that picture, he'd be so freaked out and he'd never want to hang out with me again. He still hadn't called, emailed, or even texted me all weekend. I was seriously complaining whether or not to try to and super glue that hair chunks back or on, or just part my hair differently to try to hide the bald spot when my phone chimed. OMG, I almost jumped out of my skin. It was a text from Braden. Finally, squee! My heart's pounding as I read his message. Then here's the message in the picture. Braden, been super busy with stuff. Don't have the time to hang out at Crazy Burger. Sorry. I actually read it like 3 times before his very cryptic message finally said, and oh no, he didn't. I closed my eyes silently and groaned in despair, like a mortally wounded gorilla or something. How could he do this to me? I immediately recognized Braden's behavior from that magazine article. How to know if a guy's just not into you? 1. He agrees to date and then rudely cancels at very last minute. 2. He simply texts you an apology instead of telling you anything. I crossed off both 1 and 2 from the list. Maybe Brown was too embarrassed to be seen with a girl. With a slightly goofy, majorly Instagram girl who wasn't a CCP, cute, cool, and popular like Mackenzie. Or maybe the daughter of my dad's extra van with a plastic roach on the size of a large hog had made him lose his appetite permanently. Suddenly I felt so stupid. What made me think Brian would want to go anywhere with me? Anyway, for the past hour, I've been working on a new crush reaction to try to figure out what happened. The calculations were super complex, and who knows, all my hard work on this, I'm just going to call it a page because I think it's like a, worksheet, might one day earn me the Nobel Prize in Math. Braden plus Nikki, heartbreak. My cell phone, I don't know why they did that. I mean, why is there marks on that? Because it doesn't look like someone marked on it with a pen. It looked like the writer actually did that. Okay, I don't know. It kind of looks like that. So, Brown plus Nikki divided by a random text message. Oh, so, anyways, equals heartbreak. Why is all this guy stuff so confusing? I guess I could write into my Miss Know-It-All advice column and ask myself for romantic advice. Especially since my 2 friends, Chloe and Marcy, begged me to let them take over the column for the entire month of February. They're doing a special Miss Know-It-All Crush Crisis Love Advice column, which means I have the entire month off. Anyways, here's my letter. Dear Know-It-All, why is love such a cruddy thing? Help, the heartbroken dork. And that's the end of chapter 2. Okay, time for chapter 3. Monday, February 3rd. I'm still pretty bummed out over Braden's text message. I really wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but the magazine article wouldn't let me. I planned to just pretend the whole Crazy Burger thing had never happened and totally ignore him. However, when I arrived at school, the first thing I noticed was that all of the guys were acting really strange, even the normally rowdy jocks who were huddled together in small groups, quietly talking among themselves. But mostly everyone was staring nervously at the same huge commotion down the hall. What was going on, and where were all the girls? Okay, this was just too weird. While all the guys stood there gawking, I decided to go down the hall and investigate. And here's a picture. Okay, you guys can't see it yet. Okay. OMG, I cannot believe my eyes. Okay, now you can see it, guys. I'm going to die. OMG, who should I ask? This is so exciting. That's the picture. Okay, girlfriends, this is time we get to ask the guys. How cool is that? WCD Sweetheart Dance. Girls ask the guys. Friday, February 4th. Practically every girl in the entire school was part of a huge crowd in line for tickets to the Sweetheart Dance. Jordan, the girl who sits behind me in geology, showed me her tickets and excitedly filled me in. Nikki, this is the most popular dance of the school year. But make sure to get your tickets soon because they usually sell out in a few days. And here's a picture talking about tickets. Nikki's looking happy. I would say that's definitely a happy face. She was right about the dance thing being really popular. The line was so long that it flowed past the office, wrapped around the corner near the library, and extended beyond the cafeteria door. It looked like the entrance to a sold-out Justin Bieber concert. But get this, it was girls asked the guys. Of course, I totally freaked. Fortunately, the only guy I'm even remotely interested in couldn't even stand to eat burger with me. I was so not asking him to the Sweetheart Dance. All of this gushy sweetheart stuff was getting me on my last nerve. I decided to go to my locker and write in my diary before class. But that was a really bad idea. Mackenzie had bedazzled her locker with so many sparkly red and pink hearts that practically blinded me. Even her lip gloss was red and glittery. And then there's a picture of her. Actually, I was expecting her foot to be over on her side, but anyways, it's a picture of all of those hearts, and there's a picture of her using her locker reflection to put a lip gloss on. How in the world was I supposed to write in my diary with all of her tacky bling bling? Was blinging all over the place. I couldn't believe what happened next. The girl wrinked up her nose and then sprayed pretty poison designer perfume all over me. Accidentally, on purpose. Like, who does that? Finally, I lost it. Mackenzie, please, Mackenzie, could you be more careful where you're spraying that stuff? Sorry, Nikki. It's that your order is especially pungent today, and I don't have a can of Lysol disinfectant spray. Personally, I prefer Lysol. That's the name of the perfume you're wearing, What's the name of the perfume you're wearing, and Tick the planet? I shot back. Colin McKenzie, a mean girl, is an understatement. She's a shark in lip gloss, skinny jeans, and platform heels. Suddenly, she turned around and got up all in my face like sick cream or something. Here's a picture. So, Nikki, are you going to the dance going to the Sweetheart Dance? Oh, my bad. They are animals. Actually, Mackenzie, that stink you're smelling is not me. It's coming from your mouth. You're obviously suffering from the case of blabberets. Is that stuff contagious? Mackenzie glared at me with her beady little eyes. A minute, Nikki, you're just jealous because Brad and like the digital camera I gave him for his birthday. A lot better than your stupid gift for graduates to Cruddy Burger. It's not Cruddy Burger, it's Crazy Burger. I said, wondering how she even knew about it. Had Brad told her we were going to Crazy Burger together to use his gift. Consider it. Whatever, your gift is so tacky. I got the camera so Brad can take pictures of me when I'm crowned sweetheart princess. And I've already asked him to dance, so don't even think about it. I just blinked my eyes in shock. Mackenzie had already asked Brad to dance. They say yes or no, or maybe. She had very confidently left out that little detail. However, I had to admit, everything was starting to make perfect sense. When Mackenzie had asked to talk to Brad in private at his birthday party, it was probably to invite him to a sweetheart dance. And if they were going to sweetheart dance, and if they go into the dance together, there is no way she'd want him hanging out with me at Crazy Burger. So he had to send me that text. I closed my eyes, sighing deeply, and bit my lip. Then an unexpected wave of anger rushed over me. Mackenzie is not the boss of me. It's a free country. I can ask whoever I want to the dance. And yes, Brad had stood me up, but still, there's no reason why I couldn't just totally humiliate myself by asking him anyway, right? Wrong. If Mackenzie and Brad didn't want to be together, I was not going to stand in their way. That's when Mackenzie rudely interrupted the deep conversation I was having with myself. BTW, Nikki, just a friendly little reminder. Because you vote for me, make sure you vote for me for the Sweetheart Princess on February 14th. Everyone else is going to. I'm so popular, Mackenzie gushed. Then she flipped her hair and stashed away. I just hate it when that girl stashes. I was really upset that Mackenzie was trying to undermine my friendship with Brad again. But if I asked him to dance too, then he would be forced to choose. 2 desperate girls and 1 guy, just great. Of course, that left me with one obvious and complaining question. Why in the world would Mackenzie ask me to vote for her for the Sweetheart Princess? It's so obvious that she hates my guts. All this is mind-boggling. And my mind is so boggled, I seriously need to talk to my BFFs, Chloe and Zoe. There are only other girls in the entire school whose brains did not turn into mush today from the Sweetheart dance. I'm already sick of Valentine's Day, and it's still 2 weeks away.